Royal Aircraft Factory S.E.4a. Despite its designation, the S.E.4a owed virtually nothing to the S.E.4. It had full-span control surfaces on the wings, and the first of the 4 aircraft built had a large spinner with an internal cooling fan. But beyond that, the S.E.4a had nothing in common with its predecessor. It had been designed as an aircraft that could be used for the purpose of obtaining information on stability and maneuverability, and might also be suitable for operational use. Its design incorporated all the experience the Royal Aircraft Factory had acquired in the development of such stable aircraft as the RE-1 and the BE-2C. From the operational standpoint, the SE-4A would have been a more practical aircraft than the highly refined SE-4. It was a neat and sturdy little single-bay biplane with pronounced stagger. The upper wings met at a trestle-shaped cabane structure. The lower main planes were attached to 2 span-wise steel tube members. The fuselage was made in 2 parts. The forward portion was of steel tubing. The rear was a wooden box girder with plywood webs top and bottom and cross-braced sides. Armor was provided to protect the pilot. The tailplane and elevators were similar to those of the SE-4, and the general appearance and disposition of the vertical surfaces foreshadowed the SE-5. The first FE-4A, which underwent its pre-flight inspection on the 23rd of June 1915, embodied several refinements. Apart from its spinner already mentioned, it had faired fuselage sides and stub wing fairings over the steel tube members connecting the lower wings. The aileron cables were led through the lower wing, and the pulleys were fitted inside the wing, and the headrest was faired into the fuselage. The engine was an 80-horsepower gnome. The other SE-4As had no spinner, flat-sided fuselages with smaller headrests, and external aileron pulleys and cables. On the 25th of June 1915, the first SE-4A made its first flight in the hands of Frank Gooden. It was flown at Farnborough on various dates by Gooden and W. Stutt until 13th of August, after which it disappears from the record. The second machine, which was also powered by the 80-horsepower gnome, was passed for flight on the 16th of July 1915 and made its first flight 5 days later. It visited Up Avon on 9th of August and was last mentioned in the Farnborough records on the 20th of August. This SE-4A was closely followed by the other 2. The third aircraft was approved on the 25th of July, 1915, and was flown for the first time 2 days later by Stutt. It was originally fitted with an 80-horsepower Lerone engine, but this had been replaced by an 80-horsepower gnome by the beginning of September 1915. The fourth SE-4A had been completed by the 9th of August, was passed for flight on the 11th, and made its first flight on the 13th. 2 of the SE-4As are known to have had official serial numbers, 5609 and 5611. The relatively low power of the SE-4A prevented it from approaching the spectacular performance of the SE-4, but it was maneuverable. Frank Gooden found it an excellent aerobatic aircraft. Although his displays delighted his colleagues, that was not their primary purpose, and his observations and reports provided valuable data that were used to great advantage on later designs. It is believed that at least 2 SE-4As went to home defense units. One was stationed at Hounslow, but was wrecked on the 24th of September 1915. It had spun in while being flown by Captain B. Blood. In the following months, another SE-4A was stationed at Joyce Green as an anti-Zeppelin aircraft, but was apparently never in action. Details of the armament of these SE-4As have not been discovered. Only the first machine is known to have had a gun mounting of any kind while it was at Farnborough. There were brackets for a single gun above the cabane. The third SE-4A apparently stayed at Farnborough, where it was flown a great deal. Among its distinguished pilots were Lieutenant Frank Courtney, Captain Roderick Hill, and Dr. F.A. Lindeman, later Lord Cherwell, and it was fitted with an 80-horsepower Clerget engine in October 1916, but it is not known whether it retained this engine thereafter. It continued to be flown until at least the 5th of September 1917, when it concluded a series of accelerometer test flights that had begun in August. So wouldn't you know it, about an hour after I posted my last video, I found the drawing of the proposed armored fighter that Henry Folland had drawn, and I'll be sure to put it in my compilation. It's too late to repost, because when you repost something, everyone who's already seen the video are not going to watch it again, and so the algorithm thinks that all of a sudden you're no good and people don't want to watch your videos anymore. And so they won't promote it. And another thing, a guy with the name Captain Blood sure sounds like a pirate to me. Yeah, that's a pretty awesome name. And another detail, Frank Courtney, as I understand it, was the only pilot in the Royal Flying Corps that was allowed to wear his glasses. So, if you're at a bar and you want to make a bet, yeah, Frank Courtney was the only guy with glasses in the RFC. So my next video is on the SE-5, and that's going to take a little while longer for me to do because it's a bigger story. So, as you were,